Okay, so when we run this, first of all, we repeat what we saw earlier on. Then mailing label is a very nicely formatted string like this. If we want to have a split, right, between the fifth floor dash 6, I forgot to correct that. So if I do that, then seeing this design looking nice and pretty in our program space allows us to immediately know that in the runtime space, it'll be nice. It'll be nice. Yeah. Okay. So this is something that the triple quote feature brings us. Python also allows for triple single quote as a complete equivalent of triple double quote. Now, why this repetition? It's because we can always, first of all, enjoy this luxury. Second is sometimes we might want to say, suggest, for example, that in Python, you can print quiz, quiz equal to quiz. So suppose we really want to print out this Python line to explain or suggest to our user, then it would be incredibly nice if we can start out this multi-line text with a different opening and closing character set from the triple double quote. And this is where we are able to do that thanks to the presence of triple double quote and triple single quote. So here you see that we can actually print out this suggestion, allowing our user to just copy from the screen and paste it, and immediately it's a Python code. Right. So of course, if you have been using the triple double quote, you can always suggest F triple single quote quiz equals to quiz. So you can always have that interchange between them because they don't interact. Right. So that's the nice part of it. More importantly, in this part, we also like to introduce raw string and byte string. Raw string and byte string. First of all, raw string is more like a normal text string, and the reason why it's raw. It's because it's uncooked, and it's uncooked means that Python doesn't go through the content to detect backslashes. Now, what are backslashes? Backslashes are basically special prefix character that makes Python create different string characters, string content, depending on what's the next character. So, for example, if we say ABC, and we say what is S, right? That's just ABC. But if we say S is ABC /n/n/n/n/def, then we manage to create ABC return, 3 returns, followed by def, because each backslash followed by an n is a new line, it's a return. Okay, so when we say print S, we get ABC gap, 3 lines, and then def. One more thing is, if we say S3 equals to ABC /T, that means a tab. It's as if you have pressed the tab character 3 times, right? Then def. Then this time round, S3 will be ABC gap, as if you have typed a tab character in the runtime, and then followed by def. I guess, oh, sorry, I should have printed S3. And there we go. We have a tab. You notice this gap here? It's not space, pretending to be tab. It's one character tabulation, one tab across. Right. So this is how Python cook the string by scanning for backslash and then reading the next character, depending on whether it's T or N, or there's another character called R that is supposed to simulate a return back to the same line without going to the next line, and so on. So there are some control characters that makes Python substitute a different character for the pair backslash character. Okay, now if that is cooked version, then R, the raw version, okay, is going to be uncooked. what you see is again what you get. So here, literally, we see S4 as being ABC backslash, because our intention is really don't cook it. Don't go and interpret it and make it disappear. I really, really want the backslash to be part of my string. Okay, so this is the cooked, this is the uncooked version. And if you want the same effects to be done in the cooked version, you cannot write this because we have seen this. This will generate new lines because they are cooked. So what you want is to actually escape the backslash. That means backslash will be cooked into one backslash, and you don't cook it, and then backslash will cook into one backslash, and then you leave the end there. So you need to imagine a bit what Python does to this string, and it will be ABC backslash, because double backslashes cooks into one backslash, and literally, then one backslash and then one backslash and. So then our S5 will be the same as what we want, uncooked version. So if S4 equal to S5, that's the same. So the raw, the R prefix is to specify that Python don't interpret any backslashes. All right, just leave them as it is. It's different from the triple double quote because when we press return, it will not be acceptable. So what you see is not necessarily what you get. So the raw version is simply just to say don't interpret the backslash characters. And now the final variation on that is the byte string, and it's kind of closely related to text string in that a byte can contain various hexadecimal coding. All right, it's literally a binary container containing any kinds of bits and bytes. So the way we specified it is to have a B in front. Let's just append this to our experiment. All right, so first of all, we want it to be non-printable characters, literally, and just doing a quick check so that we are able to reproduce what is being seen in the slide. So raw string is equal to the raw string, and the not raw string is this. We have already seen an example actually. All right, then the not raw string. Then we have bytes, non-printable characters. So printable characters are what you can see. Non-printable characters are those that have about 130 of them, 120, 130 of them, that you cannot really see. For example, return. The return character is a physical action. The tab character you can't really see because it's a blank space. And there are also other encodings that lead to invisible characters, but they are there. They occupy the space. They take up memory space. Right. So, for example, this one. Right. So we have a backslash xff. So all these backslashes are the beginning of. They are going to be cooked first of all. That means Python is going to look at the backslash, sees that you have an x. It will need another 2 characters in hexadecimal spelling. So the f is going to be 15 times 16, 16, plus another f, which is 15. So that's going to be 255, followed by 254, followed by 253. So these are the encodings. Each byte will be a number between 0 to 255. In other words, in hexadecimal, it will be between backslash x 0 to backslash x ff. So if we try to print out what we have in the raw bytes, we'll be able to then see clearly what is at work here. Right. So let me just finish this up. So backslash x30 is supposed to be just a number, a hexadecimal number 30. So the decimal number is 3 times 16 plus 0, 3 times 16 plus 1, 3 times 16 plus 2. These 3 bytes, although they constitute 4 characters in our program, every byte constitutes 4 characters. These 3 bytes, they happen to be displayable. So when we print it, we can actually see it. Let's just run it and see. So over here, our raw string, right? What you see is what you get. Where is it? Our raw string. Right, over here. That's not correct. We are supposed to put a backslash over there. All right. So we put a backslash. Remember, backslash x21 is going to be interpreted by Python to be 2 times 16, that's 32, plus 1, 33. That number, that code, 33, happens to be, if I recall correctly, exclamation mark. So if we run this, the raw string is basically going to hold it as it is. I think we have seen that. But the cooked string is going to also interpret the backslash x as special encoding. I want this character having 33 as the code. And 33 maps to an exclamation mark. So we get this. But that's for raw string. So we're talking about bytes here. For raw bytes, we see that 0 is 1 byte. 1 byte, remember, is a value from 0 to 255. So that's 1 byte, happens to be displayable. 1, also another byte. So we have 4 bytes here, plus the 5th byte is undisplayable. So when we try to print it out, Python will say, oh, I see a 255 encoding here. I don't know what to show. I cannot just show you random values, so I'm going to just show you truthfully the hexadecimal value. So these are 4 characters, but they actually mean 1 byte. 1 byte. Once you get used to it, it's actually very normal. So when we see this, we have to mentally think of it as 1 byte, 1 8-bit byte. Then we have another raw string, and this time round, we don't have complicated hexadecimal values. We have 33 zeros, so 3 times 16, that's 48. So 48, 49, 50. They happen to correspond to the characters 0, 1, 2. So conveniently, Python prints it out and show you 0, 1, 2. Those that are displayable. Those that are not displayable, it will show a friendly version rather than mess up the screen with random characters that we don't recognize. So this is the last part of our constants and literals discussion.